Hari Om, I'm Gayatri Anand from the Markandeya Group. The most dangerous distractions are the ones you love but don't love you back. Our topic for today is that we have so many ideas for a science project but are unable to complete and execute it due to lot of distractions. What kind of distractions do we face? You will wonder. Let's imagine a scenario. We are studying for an exam. The light and the sound from the social media will divert our attention from the work we are doing. We are not able to concentrate. How do we get rid of these distractions? How do we concentrate? How do we stop ourselves from getting distracted? Gurudev has shown us a way by providing us some pointers. If these pointers are followed, they will surely bring an end to our problem. So let's look into some of them.
We all get distracted from something in our life. It may be the thoughts of the past or the future, making us feel anxious or excited. Our Puja Gurudev gives us an aid on resolving this issue. Keep your mind where your hands are. This quote conveys us to keep our minds set on what we are doing, and this is rather important. For example, if a person is driving and doesn't pay attention on the road, it may lead to accidents. On this, let us hear an example from ancient times from Anushka.
In a city, an arrow maker was chiseling the blade of his sword with great concentration. The king's procession was on its way with loud music passing by, and Avadhuta asked the arrow maker if he had seen the procession. Then the arrow maker replied that he was very engrossed in his work and wasn't aware of what is going on. This is the focus we need towards our work and to continue our work without any distractions.
Hari Om. Once in Kashi, the ruling system was very different. One could become king just by asking, but after 5 years, the king would be thrown into the forest and would become prey to wild animals. Therefore, no one stepped up to become king. Finally, one man stepped up to become king. He was crowned and lived and ruled happily for the next 5 years. After his time was up, he did not seem scared at all. When the ferryman was taking him across, he asked, Maharaj, you know you're going to die. Why aren't you scared? The king heartily replied, My dear ferryman, as king, I cut down all the trees, I killed all the wild animals, I sent ministers to build palaces and forts, and in my final year, I migrated people to the country.
Thank you, Prajesh, for that wonderful story. Hari Om all, this is Prajwal. I will explain the hidden meaning of the story. This story tells us that the king's destiny after his rule of 5 years was to be eaten by the beasts, but he changed his destiny not by merely wishing for it, but he used his brain to think of a way out of the situation and by working for it. Similarly, we all have different goals in our life and we have to achieve it by working for it. Thank you. Hari Om.
There is a story about a young boy named Nachiketa. In that story, Lord Yama grants Nachiketa three boons. The first boon that Nachiketa chooses is to have a very loving father. The second boon that Nachiketa chooses is to have all the wisdom and the knowledge. The third boon that Nachiketa chooses is to have the knowledge of the Atma. Lord Yama, without any hesitation, grants the first two boons, but is a little hesitant to grant the third one. Hence, he offers gold, pearls, horses, elephants, and so on instead. But Nachiketa remains firm and requests for the knowledge of the Atma. Hence, at the end, Yama agrees and grants Nachiketa his wish. From this, we can learn that we have to always never be distracted by anything or anything.
Thank you, Akshita. Hari Om, this is Yashwant. Puja Gurudev has given us an additional pointer to avoid distractions. Not to do what you feel like doing is freedom. This means that not to do anything which is good for you but may cause trouble to the others. Or this may also mean that anything which gives you pleasure for a while but could cause trouble in the future. Here we can take an example about Shreyas and Prayas. Shreyas means whatever which is good for you that could be tough but would give you long-term happiness. And Prayas means whatever which gives you short-term happiness but would give you pain in the future. So, before doing an action, thinking whether it is Shreyas or Prayas would help us avoid distraction. Thank you.
Vishwamitra started his penance to become a Brahmarshi.
Beautiful Apsara. Hey Apsara, will you be my wife?
I'm honored, O sage.
after a few years, he realized,
Devas must have sent you to distract me. Go back to the Devas and never return. I shall go back to my penance.
Hey Rambha, please go to Vishwamitra and disturb his penance. I'm terrified of his anger. Don't worry, I'll be there as a bird to protect you.
I will not get distracted by Ramba. I have learned my lesson. Ramba, I curse you for disturbing me. May you turn into a stone. I will continue my penance. Let me do more penance and gain control over my senses to gain the title of Brahmarshi.
Oh, Vishwamitra, you have gained control over your senses. Now you are a Brahmarshi.
As you saw, the solutions to distraction is to increase our concentration and think before we act. We should know whether an action would be a shreyas or a prayas for us. We should also know whether it will help us achieve our goals or not. As we go on practicing this, we would be able to easily avoid all distractions. Thank you.
Hariyo, we are going to be presenting to you two skits which are applicable in our current life.
Aarti was a smart girl and used to top her class every year, but ever since her classes went online, something changed. Her performance began to drop.
Oh no, my project is due tomorrow. I haven't even chosen a topic yet.
Didi, aren't you coming to watch the match?
Maybe for just a few minutes.
As she sat watching the match, she received a call from her friends. What was supposed to be a break of minutes was stretched into hours.
Oh, it's late and I'm so tired. I'll just wake up tomorrow morning and do it.
Her alarm rings at 5 a.m., but Aarti snoozes it. She finally wakes up at 6:30, anxious and panicked.
Oh no, I can't believe I missed my alarm. I'm surely going to get a zero in this now.
Aarti's story is one that many of us are able to relate to. Although Aarti was a smart girl full of potential, she let distractions come in her way. She fell into a vicious cycle of procrastinating, pushing all of her work to the last minute. Thus, we can see what a large impact distractions can have on us. They restrict us, prevent us from putting in our best efforts. So, it is up to us to figure out a way to overcome our distractions, a large step towards the goal we want to achieve.
Now, let us take another example. Shruti had just passed 10th grade with excellent scores. She was gifted a mobile phone for her success. She had to participate in a cycle race which she had to complete 5 kilometers of cycling. She was a good cyclist but had to practice a little bit more to muster up confidence for the competition.
There is still 3 weeks left. Anyways, I'm pretty good at cycling. All I need is just a little practice in the end. I might as well enjoy my life now.
2 weeks passed by. Shruti never went to practice. She just spent time playing games on her phone and enjoying.
There are still 7 days left. Anyways, my holidays have started. Maybe I'll just go watch some movies.
On the last day,
Oh, it's the last day. Finally time for me to go practice.
Shruti finds her cycle with broken pedal and punctured tire.
My cycle is wrecked. Now I have to go to the cycle store.
Shruti finds none of the stores open. She realizes her mistake. Though Shruti knew that she had plenty of time, she did not practice cycling because of distractions like her mobile phone. This scenario would not have been happen if Shruti had remained focused on her goals right from the beginning. Shruti also could have used her phone in the way that could have benefited her. She could have used it to track her progress as she cycled, if only she had looked past the distraction it posed. This story tells us why the power of focus and determination is so crucial. We need to focus on priorities and end results. We must not let the distraction come in our way to success. Only then we can achieve the goals in our life. Both of these skits show the various ways distractions can affect our state of mind, which in turn affects our daily actions. These examples are ones that we can relate to, especially as millennials. However, distractions have been an issue since the beginning of time. Our Puranas too contain various instances where this had been depicted. Let us take a look.
Examples from Itihasas and the Puranas. This is a story from the Mahabharata when the Kauravas and Pandavas were learning from Guru Dronacharya. One day, Guru Dronacharya wanted to test his pupils' skills. He placed a wooden bird on the branch of a tree and asked his students to aim for the bird's eye. Then he asked everyone what they saw when they aimed. Each one of them answered that they saw the tree or the branches and the leaves along with the bird. When Arjuna's turn came, he replied, "Only the bird's eye is what I see." The Guru gave his consent to shoot the arrow, and the arrow hit the target. This story shows us the importance of being focused on our goals from beginning to excel in life. There are no obstacles which can distract us if we are strong mentally and well prepared for our goal to be achieved. A perfect example for focus and determination in life is if we converge the light rays of the sun on a paper using a biconvex lens, after a few seconds, the paper starts to burn. Let's see another story. This story is from Mahabharata during the Kurukshetra war. Dronacharya was unbeatable and none can defeat him unless he puts his weapons down. Krishna made a plan. Let us use Ashwatthama, our elephant, to distract him. Dronacharya's only weakness is his son, Ashwatthama. Then, as per the plan, the elephant Ashwatthama was killed by Bhima and he announced it by shouting that Ashwatthama had died. At first, Acharya Dronacharya did not believe him and asked Yudhishthir, who would never tell a lie and follows the path of dharma. Yudhishthira said, Ashwatthama hatakunjaraha, meaning Ashwatthama the elephant has died, but Dronacharya was not allowed to hear the last word, which meant the elephant, and he dropped his bow and arrow. In that instant, Drishtadyumna killed Dronacharya. In this story, Dronacharya, though he knew that his son Ashwatthama was a Chiranjeevi, immortal, he was easily distracted at that moment, leading to his death. Distractions are a part and parcel of life. We can see lot of distractions all around us, but if we are fixed and focused on a goal that we have to achieve, there is nothing that can stop us. Our beloved Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda always used to guide us by telling, "Be like the river Ganges. When there are small rocks on her way, she flows upon them, and when there are huge obstacles, she avoids them to reach her destination." Thank you.
We hope you liked our presentation, and we do hope that you inculcate the good qualities in your life and become successful in your life and be a cause to enlighten someone else.
Hi, today I'm going to be narrating a story called Arjuna and the Eye of the Bird. Once, Dronacharya overheard Duryodhana accusing him of favoring Arjuna and ignoring the rest. To prove him wrong, he decided to set his disciples to a simple test. He placed a wooden bird on a branch of a tree and asked each of them to strike the eye of the bird. Before letting them shoot the arrow, he asked each of them a question.
Then he asked the elders of a lord, Yudhishthir, "What do you see there?" Yudhishthir then replied, "I see wooden birds, moving leaves, trees, branches, etc." Everyone who followed explained the same thing: trees, birds, branches, etc. Dronacharya asked to drop their bows and arrows. When it was Arjuna's turn, he confidently stated, "I can see only the eye of the bird." Dronacharya smiled, for which he had been proven right. Everyone else has set their goals on the surroundings, but Arjuna has set his goal only on the bird's eye.
Hari Om, I'm Sriya. What a wonderful story it was. While others failed to separate their goals from that distraction, Arjuna was able to keep his mind only on the target. In life, there are so many irrelevant things that consume our energy on a day-to-day basis. We should put the chaos aside and concentrate on things that matter. Arjuna was just like the other students. What set him apart was his willpower. I'll give you a simple formula for your focus problems. It is replace DI's with DE's. Do you know what that means? It means that ignore your distractions, which is DI, and have determination, which is DE. a pinch of focus and determination, and a sprinkle of willpower to your work, and you will be Arjuna. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Today I'm going to tell you a beautiful story. Once there were two asuras, Sunda and Upasunda. They were causing a lot of havoc on the earth. So they all went to Brahma. Brahma then told Vishwakarma, the architect, to make a beautiful Apsara. And you know what her name was? Her name was Tilotama. Tilotama was a beautiful Apsara and a maiden. She was very attractive and was made of each and every fine particle that was found on the earth. Now, before causing the destruction of these two Asuras, you know who got distracted? Yes, the Brahma himself got distracted after seeing Tilotama.
Tilotama started to run. She had no other option but to run. Then, from Brahmaji, 5 heads popped out, and Shiva took his hand and swiped the 5th head off. And then there was a begging bowl. And then Tilotama went down to earth, where Sunda and Upasunda were. She went there to pluck flowers. And then when Sunda and Upasunda noticed Tilotama's beauty, they started fighting for each other, who is going to be Tilotama's wife, in turn killing each other. This is how Tilotama caused the end of Sunda and Upasunda. And everybody congratulated Brahmaji and Tilotama for the success of getting rid of Sunda and Upasunda from the earth.
Hari Om Tour. Today I'll be relating the Brahma Tilotama story with the current topic, that is distractions. First distraction is when the Asuras Sunda and Upasunda attack the Devas and Indradeva. So when we relate this distraction to our daily life, it can be termed as like when we are doing our daily chores, we like when someone comes and disturbs it, it like halts our process and we obviously get distracted. Second distraction is when Sunda and Upasunda are sitting simply along the banks of the river Vindhya and they get attacked by Tilotama. Like they have a boon from Lord Brahma that no one else except themselves can hurt each other. So like no one from outside can hurt them. Only they both, when they're fighting with each other, they'll get hurt. So like when they saw Tilotama, they got distracted and they forgot about their boon and they went on to fight with each other. How great a boon you may have, when a distraction comes your way, you'll obviously get distracted towards it. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Today I am going to tell about quote relating to the real life situation. The quote is practice makes a man perfect. Actually, I am learning keyboard. I am not able to concentrate on keyboard. I have concentrated on keyboard by practicing meditation, yoga, and I made a strict rule to sit on keyboard half an hour every day. And by these practices, I have succeeded, and I am in a stage to compose a song. Hence, I will say that practice makes a man perfect.
Hari Om. So we live in the most distracting time in history. All of us have different distractions. Some of us like playing video games, seeing movies, they are taking away your flow. So you may ask yourself, what must I do to prevent this? Number one, and most important of all, identify what disrupts your concentration. For most of us, it's smartphones. You may consider restructuring your phone, moving all distractive apps to subfolders, or setting time limits to apps. For the rest, it's work itself. So if the tasks never stop piling up, it is time for you to do a stop doing list. That includes every bad habit that will make you look away from your work. So that's step one. Step two is getting organized. So make sure your study desk is orderly, comfortable, and well lit, so you are in the most optimal space for being productive. Step number three is taking one thing at a time. So if you feel yourself getting pulled in different directions, just stop for a moment and focus on one task at a time. That way you will be more productive. And number four, turn off all background noises. Life is so dynamic that you are bound to feel distracted every now and then. As a student yourself, why do I get distracted so easily? So that's it. Consider these tips and follow the ones that speak out most to you. Hari Om.
We'll now move on to project on concentration. Okay, concentration. There are many ideas for a school project, right? That was the situation. Many ideas, but you were unable to complete it because you were distracted. You focused on IPL matches. You focused on various kabaddi matches. If maybe you like watching kabaddi, whatever, different things came in, and you got distracted and identify how to do better, the principles you can use to do better, and of course, identify a Puranic character from an Itihasas who went through a similar thing. And the quotes from Gurudev, again, very, very relevant in modern day situations, right? I was discussing this yesterday in my Balvihar class also. This generation is very powerful, right? You have Google at your fingertips. You can do all kinds of searches, all kinds of data, all kinds of things on your, miraculously you can provide it. But you're also one of the most, unfortunately, the most gadget oriented, most distracted set of people, because you have these gadgets that are trying to vie for your attention at all times, right? They're trying to pull you away into their secret world at that point. It may be Instagram, it may be WhatsApp, it can be all kinds of things, right? Of course, IPL matches is the idea here, but distractions are aplenty at this stage, and cell phones are not helping. So Gurudev's quotes, it's like he's speaking to us, very relevant. Let your mind be where your hands are. Point number one, quote number one. Not to do what you feel like doing is freedom. Quote number two, again, wonderful quotes. Last one is, man can change his destiny, not by wishing for it, but by working for it. So these three quotes are heavy duty quotes, right? I'm looking for a very, very interesting interaction. Let me call on group Markandeya, Gayatri and Prajit. And you...
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Hari Om,
so
sir.
Hari Om. Let me start with a request. Please summarize your presentation in about a minute or so.
Yeah. Hari Om. We have lots of important work to complete, but are unable to complete them due to a lot of distractions such as IPL games or social media. There are many distractions that keep us from doing what we want to do versus what we have to do. Generally, all of us are inclined to our wants rather than our needs and choose relaxing now rather than relaxing later on in life. Then only later do we realize that what we did was wrong and that choosing immediate pleasure was the wrong choice. In life, we all have two choices. What gives immediate pleasure, which might not be good, or what is really good but may not give immediate pleasure. These two options are what come under the bracket of prayas and shreyas. Therefore, if all of us work hard and follow Gurudev's pointers, we certainly achieve our goal. Hari Om.
Thank you, Prajit. That was very nicely put. I also liked your examples a lot. You had so many different examples. But whenever you have lots of examples and whenever you introduce terms like Shreyas and Prayas, as you may be expecting, there are questions about them. Group Ashtavakra simply says, we did not understand the meaning of Shreyas and Prayas. Please explain. Either of you, Gayatri or Prajit.
Yeah, okay. So Shreyas is basically what may not give you immediate pleasure but is good for you in the long term. As in, if you take an example of working hard for your exams now, when opposed to playing whatever you want or playing video games on your phone, the playing video games on your phone gives you the pleasure now. But in the long term, you don't get the job you want or you don't succeed the way you want to. But if you work hard now and do well in your exams or any of the tests you're going for, you when you grow up, you get to be what you get to become what you want. Like it helps you in the long term. That's Shreyas. And Prayas is what gives you immediate pleasure. It gives you pleasure at that moment, but may not help you in the long term.
Nicely put. So what is good?
Can I add on to this? So for an
example, if you can come a little forward, because
yes.
Yeah, thank you.
For example, now we love eating junk food, but then we don't look at the consequences that will happen after we eat a lot of junk food. So that will become an example of prayers. Well, Shreyas is maybe we have little of junk food, and then like the consequences will not be as bad as prayers.
Understood. Nicely put, both of you. So, and this question is from group Vishwamitra. It says, what are the solutions to manage work as well as distractions? What are the solutions to manage both at this point?
Okay, so now if you want to manage work and solutions both, the thing is you have to prioritize your work. First, I will do my studies, I will do my important work now. when I get my free time, I will surely do my whatever I want to do. Like in case watching television or playing video games or whatever your distraction is. So now if you prioritize your work, for now I'm doing this. So I will surely do this when I'm free. So that will be a solution if you want to manage both work as well as your distraction.
Yeah, and I would like to add on to that. So I think many people would have heard of something called a time matrix. So it's basically focused on 4 quadrants of time. So quadrant 1 is important work as well as urgent work. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. Quadrant 3 is urgent but unimportant, and quadrant 4 is unimportant as well as not urgent. So you should totally reduce, like you should make your quadrant 4 as minimal as possible. Quadrant 4 includes TV, games, or whatever takes you away from your final goal. You should try and make sure that all your work comes to quadrant 2 before it becomes urgent. So if you prioritize your work like Gayatri said, it's going to be really helpful for you in the long term.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to understand this generation better, right? And I keep saying Instagram, etc. But I want your opinion. What are your biggest distractions at this point? And more importantly, can you discuss a few methods that you use already to kind of avoid them at this point?
Okay, can I go with this project? You can maybe add on to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there are many distractions. Basically for me, TV is a distraction, and then playing is a distraction, and movies is a distraction for me basically. So now what I've started to do after after doing this presentation is that I have started prioritizing my work. I put a timetable. I have this much of this is my free time. I will do this work only at that time. So then I will do my work if I'm studying is an important work, I will do it first, and then comes my other works like Veena, music and stuff. So now that's what I do. That's what I do.
Thank you. Rajat?
The same thing, just prioritize your work, and the whole topic was surrounded by IPL matches. I mean, that's a huge distraction for cricket lovers in this country. And knowing, like me personally being an RCB fan, I mean, it's over now, but there was a lot of calculations going on for RCB fans at home, and seeing whether we make it to the playoffs or not. So IPL was a great distraction, but it's over now, so I can start doing my work again. She covered rest of the point.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Sometimes. Very true. Nicely put, both of you. So I'm going to, kind of add something to this. Maybe you can also chip in, but let me put in my comments on this. This is a question that came from Group Vyasa, but I thought I'll give you my take on it, and then maybe you guys can also comment. It says, Gurudev's quote was, man can change his destiny by working for it, not wishing for it, right? But you gave an example of a king who basically, he was given the kingdom, but after 5 years, he had to go somewhere, right? And what he did was he destroyed the forest, he built his palace there, he destroyed the wildlife, etc. And Group Vyasa did not like that. They said, would Gurudev have approved of such an action to take one's destiny in one's own hands, but wouldn't it have required working in a more virtuous way? Shouldn't the king have been working in a more virtuous way? So my take on it is this, and again, you can feel free to add. The main point is, I feel that of the story that you had in mind was the king did not give up, right? He worked hard, and that changed his destiny, right? Of course, if he just destroyed the forest and the wildlife and did nothing else, just built a beautiful palace for himself, that is surely bad. That's against the environment, and Gurudev would not have approved about it, right? But he had many choices. He could have shifted the trees elsewhere. He could have had the wildlife relocated, if that was possible. Or he could have built a small place for himself without impacting the forest, right? He could have still lived in the forest, but made sure that the wild animals did not consume him. So again, that would have been acceptable. So the main point I think that you were trying to convey was your destiny tomorrow is a function of the past plus your current effort, right? You put the current effort. So I think you meant the king's effort. You wanted to put it in that light, I think, right? Both of you?
Yeah, so the whole point of the story we had was that we focused more on the part where that he considered the fact that even after 5 years he was going to die, but then he made his own choice of like making his own destiny by clearing the forests and all. It might not have been the right way to go about clearing the forest, killing the animals. They're right, but we focused more on how he changed his destiny by doing all that and making himself a better person. Yeah.
No, and one more thing, he cleared the forest for the people. It's not for himself. Maybe for himself he would have cleared, but he wanted more ground and more land for people and more economy. So it was all based for the people. So it had selfish motives, but then most of them were for the people.
Nice. Thank you so much. Really nicely put. All of your examples are also right on. Thank you. We'll call on group Valmiki now. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Yeah.
Hari Om.
Shriram and Samyukta. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. So, as usual, please summarize your presentation.
Yeah, I'm Sriram and I'll be summarizing on the presentation which we had given. So basically the topic which we are given in a nutshell was that how could we face, like even though we had distractions, how to overcome them. So basically we had two skits which was done on the basis of real life situations, and then two photo essays which were from the Puranas. So basically in the photo essays, we had shown how Dronacharya and Arjuna's conversation was that Arjuna, even though there were many distractions like leaves, fruits and all, his main target was the eye of the bird. So which he shot rather than others. Others all were interested in the fruits, the leaves, the bird's beauty, everything. But the main focus was of Arjuna on the eye of the bird. And the next photo essay which we had was Dronacharya and his death. And here the main thing distraction was that he let his son's distraction come in a way. That means like actually it was Krishna's plan to somehow kill Drona because he was a very hard target. So what Krishna planned was to tell Bhima that his son Ashwathama had died, but Dronacharya did not believe it, and Yudhishthira, who was known as Dharmaputra, so he told that Ashwathama atak kunjaraha, which means Ashwathama, the elephant, has died, but because of Krishna's because of Krishna, they somehow he with many sounds he just abruptly did not allow Dronacharya to listen to the last words. Yet the main distraction here was that even though Dronacharya knew that his son was a Chiranjeevi, which means he's immortal, because of the distraction he forgot totally about it. So the main thing which we wanted to tell in this was, even though there are distractions, we need to move on with focus and determination. That's all.
Yeah.
Hari Om.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So, Ashtavakra had a very basic question. They are asking, see, you are saying be focused on the end, right? Be focused and do not get distracted, right? Group Ashtavakra is saying, why must we concentrate or focus on the end result? Why should we focus or concentrate on the end alone at this point?
Actually, we have to focus on our small goals first, because it's our small goals. Once we achieve them, only then it's possible to achieve our long-term goals. Because it's much easier to focus on a smaller task than something that's really huge, because we might get intimidated by the size of the task. So what I would say is focus on achieving small term goals and then gradually build up to achieving your long term goals.
Beautiful. Very nice, Samyukta. I think you already answered this, Sriram. How can you call Acharya Drona's worry? See, he was very worried about Ashwatthama. How can you call that a distraction? That is from group Agastya.
Yeah, I was not able to hear. Can you repeat the question again?
How can you call Acharya Drona's worry a distraction?
See, his main goal was that to somehow finish the Pandavas, or like to the Kauravas' main goal was to somehow suppress the Pandavas, or just to destroy them so that they can gain power. So if there was Dronacharya's main goal was to somehow defend them, but he let his own son's distraction. If he would have not got distracted, if he would have thought about his son who is a Chiranjeevi, he would have not got distracted and he could have fought the war. Main thing was the distraction. If he would have not got distracted, so he could have just, he could have won the war by. Yeah.
Thank you, Sriram. Thank you. One quote I really liked in your presentation. I loved your presentation, by the way, but one particular one I want to highlight that: be like the river Ganges. When there are small rocks on her way, she flows upon them. And when there are huge obstacles, she avoids them to reach her destination. I wanted to ask you, what did you mean by this quote? Can you explain this?
We should know how to estimate the size of our distraction or obstacle, because if we know that we can easily overcome our distraction, then we should try and take it as a challenge to overcome it, even though we are distracted by it. But if it's a distraction that we know has been distracting us for a long time, and we feel like it's really tough for us to overcome, first we should kind of just put it out of the way, and just focus on you know getting to know what sort of distraction it is, whether it's big or small, because the greater the distraction it is, the tougher it is for us to overcome. So once we build up that mindset on how to overcome our distractions, then we can pose them as a challenge. So what Gurudev means to say is that the smaller rocks are like our smaller distractions that we know we can easily overcome, but the larger rocks are like our greater distractions, the bigger ones that we know have been affecting us for a long time and are tougher for us to overcome, that at this point we should just push out of our way to focus on other tasks.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Now, just like I asked the other group, what were their obstacles? You're talking about huge boulders, huge obstacles on the path of Ganges. What are your huge obstacles?
As the topic given was like IPL, which was a very huge obstacle, because like most of the people in India are die-hard fans of cricket. So now, after a long break of cricket, which was postponed just now, so each and everyone, I guess I'm a very big fan of CSK actually. So the main distraction here was because cricket doesn't take like small other games like some half an hour or something. It extends up to 3 to 4 hours. So if we, like the previous group told, if we divide our time into 4 quadrants, we need to first prioritize before the IPL starts. We should finish our works, and then during that time we could just watch the IPL or something.
Right.
So that would be better.
Yeah. You want to add anything, Samyukta?
Yeah, for me, greater distractions are things like YouTube apps like that you can spend hours together watching, because when we have something to do, especially for me, like homework or school related projects, your mind either is trying to gain pleasure or is trying to avoid pain, and the mind tries to avoid pain harder than it tries to gain pleasure. So in that split second where we have to decide between doing the task at hand, our mind also presents us with a different decision. We can also choose to spend hours watching something that will prevent us from feeling the pain that our mind thinks we feel when we do tasks like homework or something we're afraid of doing.
Right.
So even if it's something we don't enjoy to do all that much, it becomes a really big distraction, uh, as it becomes just a way for our brain to avoid the task at hand.
True. Very true. Very true. Thank you so much. Very nice talking to both of you. Hari Om. I call upon
Hari Om.
group Brihaspati now, Jayani and Lakshmi. Yeah. So could you
Hari
please
Om.
summarize your presentation?
Yeah. So, Hari Om, I'm Jayani from Group Brihaspati, and today I'll just tell a few points about my presentation. First of all, starting with our situation. Our situation was like you have a school science project but are unable to complete it due to IPL matches. So we have taken few stories from ancient times. That is first of all Brahma and Tilotama story, where two asuras Sunda and Upasunda were distracted. They forgot about their boon and started fighting with each other. And the second story, which was Arjuna and the eye of the bird, where Arjuna had total concentration on his goal and did not get distracted unlike others. And here we get two morals. Like first one, we
So, like in the first story of Arjuna and the Eye of the Bird, the moral is that Arjuna, he ignores all the distractions, and his attention on the goal is more compared to the other people. And in the moral that we get from the second story of the Brahma and Tilotama story is that Sunda and Upasunda, they just got distracted, they forgot about their boon, and which only led to their death.
I see. Very nice. I really see your presentation was one where people should look at it very closely because so many tips that you have, right? You have written so many slides, you have given so much information. I found it extremely useful. But of course, Group Valmiki asks you, if I am determined, would I never be distracted?
So it obviously depends on how big your distraction is. Obviously, determination does help you. Try to ignore the distraction. It's important. The more important thing is that you have control of your mind and you don't listen to it. Sometimes it misleads you. So you listen to your intellect and not your mind. So if that's there, then yeah, it's enough.
Nice, nice, nice. You want to add anything, Jayani?
Yeah, so nothing much.
Nothing much. I can ask you we can move on to the next question then from Group Anasuya. And this is also a nice one. They ask, are distractions an excuse for one's lack of interest and commitment in the activity that's being taken up? It's just an excuse.
Can you just repeat the question, Uncle?
Are distractions an excuse for one's lack of interest in an activity?
Yeah. So, though we have lack of interest, we should try bringing interest to that activity because it's an important task. So, if we bring interest in that activity, though we don't have interest, we somehow be able to manage to finish the task.
Otherwise, we just you keep focusing on the distractions, is it? That's
Yes.
what happens. I see.
Yeah, sometimes distractions they may be things that are caused by someone else, or they may be caused by your own self. Like you choose distractions as an excuse for not completing your goal. Make sure that whatever distraction it is, you should try to control it. If it is above your control, then obviously you have to ignore it, or else try to eliminate it.
Right. So I really liked your saying, right? You said replace DI with DE, right? That was one of your quotes. Can you explain that a little bit more? What exactly did you mean by that? Any one of you?
It's like replace DI means distraction with DE, which is determination. So you have many distractions, and you have to like replace it with determination, means bring interest towards it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to add anything?
Yeah, so you should just increase your determination towards your goal and make sure that your distractions don't affect you.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Can I ask everyone to come on screen? All of the people involved with this topic. See, I don't know if you've heard this leaking pot story, no? Basically, there was a youngster, it seems. He went to a Swamiji. He said, "Oh, Swamiji, I really need help from you. I'm completely distracted all the time. I don't know what to do. You have to help me." And the Swamiji gave him a pot. And he said, "Go fill this pot." And the man looked at it and said, "No, Swamiji, I can't fill this pot with water. It's got too many holes in it, right? The moment I put water in it, it's going to go, the water is going to fall away." And then the Swami tells him, the pot of our mind is also like that. If you have too many holes in your mind, right, means what? You get distractions, you leak the energy away from the mind, you're impossible to get anything done, right? Impossible to fill the water in the pot. So he tried to convince him, keep the energy, right? Conserve energy, don't get distracted, right? So that is our first principle. Remember, a distraction is basically an energy leak, right? It's taking energy away from your system, right? So you need to conserve energy to be able to do the important things, right? So obviously, all of you mentioned this, prioritization, making a schedule. For some people, I think someone else in the other group also said they have started making schedules, right? A to-do list, that helps a lot. Every day you make a to-do list and say, these are the things I want to achieve today, right? Then keeping gadgets, of course, gadgets are so attractive, right? They are helping you, they're giving you a lot of information, but you keep a time for them. If possible, keep them with you only during specific times. I don't know if you guys watched this Netflix video where, they actually show you, they're trying to grab all these gadgets. Their whole principle is trying to grab your time away from towards themselves, right? So they're all energy sinks. They're all trying to put, attract you into their domain at that point. So by keeping them away, at least for specific times of the day, you're helping yourself that way. Of course, keeping your workspace organized, and what Samyukta said, breaking big tasks into smaller ones, finishing them one at a time, I think that helps a lot as well. So really, there are lots of different ideas for increasing concentration. As far as working hard, see, Gurudev was a living example of working hard, right? You've all heard the story. You've seen the movies, right? He used to sleep at 11 o'clock, get up at 4 o'clock, right? He slept for 5 hours a day, and his day was non-stop, right? Right from 4 in the morning till 11, he was busy with various activities, working hard, waking up early, dealing with the more important tasks first. When your energy is complete, you deal with the important tasks in the morning, taking care of yourself physically and mentally, keeping yourself healthy, making deadlines, trying to stick to them, because especially projects, right? When you say, oh, my project is due 3 weeks from now, you end up doing it on the night before, right? You keep procrastinating and wasting time. So making deadlines, saying this week, by this weekend, I should have finished so much. Next week, I should have finished so much. So this planning process helps a lot in this whole concentration bit. Mindfulness, right? Keeping your mind where your hands are. Gurudev again spoke a lot about it. And really the idea there is be conscious of your thoughts. What ends up happening is we do a lot of things unconsciously or subconsciously, right? We don't, because like Samyukta said again, attached to pleasure, we want to move away from pain. Automatically the mind has registered, yes, this is pleasurable. Yes, this is painful. Even without you thinking about it, you start going into those modes of behavior, right? So being conscious of your habits, being conscious of your thoughts, mindfulness, focusing on the present at that point, just focusing on what am I doing? Even simple things like, see, today what happens now when we're eating food, we'll be watching TV or we'll be watching a phone or we'll be doing something, chatting something. Mindfulness could simply be as simple as focus on eating. If I'm eating, I only focus on that. I do not have 15 different things coming into my mind at once at that point. And last but not least, I'm a big believer of breathing, right? Focus on your breathing, right? Just air going in, coming out. Just the fact that you have taken your mind away from your distraction and you're focusing on something else, that itself reduces the distraction at that point. So these are all some techniques, some principles you can follow to get better at this, right? Again, it's difficult, and today's world in particular, it's difficult, but the more you're able to adopt these principles, and in fact, one of your presentations, I think the last presentation, we are the most distracted set in society at this point. You made that statement, and I completely agree with that. So mindfulness, working hard, increasing concentration, these are principles we have to adopt to deal with this at this point. Hari Om.